think about it. If the agents aren't representing their athletes, their entertainers, then they don't have any business. Oh no, we can't let them break the mold. Remember Richard Sherman? I was actually having this conversation with Bobby Wagner because I was asking him, you know, how he felt about Lamar's situation because he did his last 3 deals, literally in the room doing everything, negotiating. Beautiful story. He said, "Bro, do you not remember what happened to Richard Sherman?" So Richard Sherman did it before Bobby. There's a email chain with about 150 agents, and they were all saying when his deal come out, Richard Sherman's deal come out, everybody bash it. Everybody say it's terrible. We cannot let this be the standard. This is a true story. Richard Sherman goes out and he says, well, what, you know, basically asked the media, like, who do you think is in support of me right now? And then they got in this whole conversation. He said, what do you think about the agents? And then he brought it up. He's like, well, do you think agents are with me or against me? They said, oh, they definitely with you. They definitely with you. And then he said, all right, well, what do you think about this email chain? That was covered up. That was blown up. That was covered up like within 24, 48 hours. That wasn't even a national story. But that was a real thing. So you are right, Ashley. A lot of people owe Lamar and Felicia Jackson an apology. They got the deal done. It's the best deal the league has ever seen.
I think a lot of people owe Lamar and his mother an apology. You know, it was this ideology, this narrative that was constantly pushed out that they weren't capable of getting this done.
Right.
And I think that was just so egregiously disrespectful because if you look, let's take sports out of the equation. Right. The Kardashians, for example, I'm going to use that as an example because it's the first one that comes to my mind. That their mother built that empire. That she manages every single one of those women.
And was it 3 billionaires or 2
billion?
billion?
And there's 2 billionaires in that family. So, like, let's not act like we have Ashanti's mother notoriously is her manager. You know, and it's a little bit different, I guess, manager and agent. But when we talk about building brands and enterprises, we have seen it done in the entertainment music space.
LeBron James.
No,
think about it. No, remember, because we were just at a conference this weekend, and this came up, right? When LeBron first entered in the NBA, they called Rich and Maverick his posse.
Yes.
Right? And now look at them. They built an empire.
Yes. So we have seen this formula work before.
Jay-Z.
Across the board with multiple Beyonce.
Let's keep
Destiny's
going.
Child. I mean, the list goes on and on. We have seen it work before. So it's interesting to me that when we talk about sports, all of a sudden, oh, it's too complicated. Oh, all of a sudden you need an agent. But we have seen this formula work and not work on a small scale, but we have seen it work on the biggest scale possible with some of the richest people in the world.
I just, for me, I think it's bullshit. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, I guess if you offend LeBron, everybody get mad. I guess when you compete against LeBron, everybody get mad. Yeah, he got a chip on his shoulder. Yeah, he might say some things, but he ain't the first player to do that. Ron Artest did it. I did it. Draymond does it. Like, I don't understand. I guess he poked the wrong bear, but I don't agree with that shit. I don't agree with them coming out and saying that shit. Baltimore did the same shit with Lamar Jackson. Tried to come out and demean him so nobody else wouldn't sign it. When nobody else wouldn't sign him. I've been in those shoes where people try to demean your character and say these certain things about you and don't understand that this guy just like playing the game a certain type of way. He play hard. Is he the most talented player? No. But he competes. He's in the NBA for a reason. Y'all signed him. Y'all brought him there for a reason. But don't demean him now because he said some things or he might have ruffled y'all feathers. Okay, what would have been better for me? For Memphis to come out and say, you know what? We can't have Ja doing all this and Dillon. We have to get rid of one of them for the betterment of our organization. But don't just try to single Dillon Brooks out just because he played the game a certain way with a chip on his shoulder to make it seem like he's a bad guy and we just gonna come out and say we don't want to bring him back at all. I think that's bullshit on their behalf.
You are saying without a shadow of a doubt, you don't need a bench to win in the NBA.
Kevin Durant had 29 points. Booker had 27 points. They did their thing. Where was Ayton? Where was Chris Paul? That's why they lost. Like
That's not why they lost. They don't have a bench to go ahead and not only one relief.
I don't need a bench.
You 100%
No, I
need
don't.
a
You know what I
bench when
need?
you're
Let me
going
tell you what I need. I
Playing
need
against the Nuggets,
Ayton or Chris Paul to go 20+ points, or go 3 for 6 from the 3, or 3 for 5 from 3. That's it.
And if I could sing and dance, I would be Beyonce. You're asking for a lot of things to happen for the Suns to beat a team that is deep. This Denver team does not need Jokic to score 35 to win.
What I'm saying is this. They have enough to get the job done. Those 4 guys, I don't give a damn. They only have 8 guys total. They don't have a full bench. Those guys have enough to beat this Nuggets team.
What's another name for a roster?
I don't know.
A depth chart. The Suns don't have depth. That is a problem.
You don't need depth when you have Kevin Durant.
Oh my God.
Here's what I heard you say. That they lost because of the Nuggets' depth.
Who said
Well,
that?
that's what you just said, basically. Depth matters.
Depth does matter, and
You brought up the Suns' points.
Their bench scored 4 points, Brandon. You don't think that's an issue?
No, I don't think it's an issue. The issue for me, Stack, and tell me if I'm wrong. Damn,
said,
Stack,
yeah,
that's
you
what
see
you're going
that
to do
face,
too? Damn, Stack, you want some
More
smoke
points,
too?
more points coming from your bench is the issue, bro.
Okay, if the bench matters, then why didn't Malone go to the bench? He only played 8 guys. But the way they played the game, like everybody's getting a shot. It was like Joker is Drew Brees.
What did you just say?
The way they played the game.
And then what was the sentence after that?
You tell me.
Everybody's getting a shot. Everybody
The
is getting a
Ashley,
shot.
let's get over this depth thing.
We're
not talking about depth anymore.
You just said it.
There was only 3 guys that actually contributed in a major way.
I started off this conversation asking you, why are the Denver Nuggets better? And you said a bunch of things, and you got to the point because of that's the definition of a deep team.
KD and Devin Booker put on a clinic, Ashley, when it came from the mid-range, but they got nothing from deep.
You cannot rely on 2 people and them having these ridiculous 3-point games to win a 7-game series.
Are you on my side or Ashley's side?
It was clear as day that I was with Ashley.
Dudes, this is what we have to realize. Women
Oh my God, here we go.
are better communicators than us. Very strategic. So, Ashley, I'm not doing this with you.
Here's the math.
I'm not answering
A starting
nothing.
lineup in basketball is 5 players. In the playoffs, a rotation at most, and that's if you're super deep, goes about 8 players, 9 if you're super deep. That's at least 3 bench players that the Suns don't have. You have Chris Paul out of the rotation now. You are asking Devin Booker and Kevin Durant to compete with a starting 5 of the Denver Nuggets and at least 3 solid bench players that could be mixed into the rotation. They have to make up the point deficit of what that bench can produce and what their bench can't produce.
So when you look at it, Ashley just said this math 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 did all this stuff. So you have KD and you have Devin Booker. If they got to play 40 minutes a night like they did the first game, then so be it. That's what it takes. You saw KD do it 2 years ago with the Nets when James Harden went down and Kyrie Irving went down. Giannis would not be a champion if KD was an inch back from the 3 and he was doing it himself. So I need that KD to show up, and I need Devin Booker to continue to be what he's been all playoffs.
You're asking them to consistently play 40-plus minutes because they don't really have a choice and drop 50 a night.
Jimmy Butler did it.
Can I just say, Draymond, I am so disappointed in him. Draymond, you play for the Golden State Warriors. Are you
They're best
insane?
friends. They're
Who
brothers.
requests days off from his own team to go watch another man break a scoring record?
I see Stack doing something like
Stack
that.
would never do that as an active player. Are you crazy?
Here's my argument to why Stack would do this.
I don't believe it.
I'm glad
No,
you
he
said
wouldn't.
Let's take Matt Barnes.
No, he wouldn't.
Let's take Matt Barnes, for example, right? Matt Barnes, if he's in that same position, I know y'all relationship is tighter now in post-career because everything you guys are building together, all the smoke and some other projects you guys are working on. But let's say that same relationship existed in the NBA. Stop shaking your head. Like, you got to hear my argument first. You got to hear my argument first.
I know.
You're so real. You're so real. You would want to be with your partner in one of his biggest moments in his career?
Hey, Tim Duncan has broken records when we was playing and I didn't show up. One thing about it, bro, is if I'm on the team and I'm not on your team and you're doing some amazing things, that has nothing to do with the situation I'm in. The guys that I'm with now deserve my loyalty. Now, the only reason why I didn't really ride Draymond is because Draymond is a leader in doing some things that I wish I could have done when I was playing. For example, he wasn't just going to the game as a fan; he was going to work with TNT, right? And that's something he's been building, his whole career, to work with TNT and work with TNT after. So I get that side of it. To be able to leave your team and to work on TNT on that game, I think that was a good look for him for his media side of things. But so as a teammate, no, that's not a good look as a teammate. And Steve Kerr, being the Hall of Fame coach, the multiple champion he did the right thing by not allowing him to do that, because he knew what that would have did and what that would have said to his team at a time where they were fighting to get in the playoffs.
Okay, so it was foul for.
So no, I wouldn't have done it, B. No, hell no.
Sack would have done that, B.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Yeah, it wouldn't have happened.
With the hair thing, I think times have changed. They're embracing our culture. They're celebrating our culture. I think we had a breakthrough moment in 2020, right? In 2021. But there is still a lot that exists there for sure. In 2017, right, that was towards the end of my career. And everybody knew I was going to get into television, right? So FS1, ESPN, and all these networks start reaching out to my agent. And it was like, yo, we love Brandon. We want to work with Brandon. But is he going to cut his hair? And so my white agent came to me and shared that with me, because he had to know too, because he had to put me in position. So the reason why I have dreads today is because of that situation. I was like, damn, because I was actually, and this is crazy. So I was on Inside the NFL for a very long time, right? I was an active athlete doing full-time broadcasting. I would actually take a little PJ on the day off on Tuesdays to New York from Chicago, right? And I had my TV look, boom, clean. And then towards the end, after like 5-6 years doing that, I was like, yo, I'm about to retire. Let me just focus here. I was chasing the Super Bowl, was trying to do some other things. And I was like, let me just focus on that and then just like kind of be free a little bit. So I started growing my hair out, I had furrow, doing all kinds of stuff, right? And I was like, all right, when I retire, I'll go back to my TV look. I already had my TV look. My TV look was going to be like this little shortcut with a little long part this way. That was going to be my TV look, straight up, right? And so I already had this in my head. And when my agent said that, something just triggered for me. And I was like, fuck that. Like, I'm keeping my dreads. And so that's the reason why I have dreads now. And that's the reason why I move the way I move a lot of times. Like, forget that. I'm not going to ESPN. I'm going on YouTube, right? Because we can have certain conversations that we can't have in other spaces.
Wow.
So, sorry, did I go too deep there?
No, that was cool.